Hey folks, if you missed the news, the Iranians have withdrawn from the BRICS Plus exercise that South Africa is holding as a naval exercise in Simonstown out in False Bay into the ocean. This event is, the story was broken by Peter Fabricius of the Daily Maverick. Kudos to him, who got some really good sources and helped break this story. It's now been picked up by News 24. And of course, I've analyzed his story and the events leading up to it in a complete video, which you can find on the channel if you're interested. Here's the thing about this, though. Can you imagine what was going on? First off, the sources had told Peter Fabricius that this predates the people's uprising in Iran, which has been going on for 2 weeks now, and that it predates South Africa's knowledge that the Africa Growth Opportunity Act, there's a bill to bring it back. Well, I'm having a little trouble disbelieving this story completely. First off, the Africa Growth Opportunity Act bill was announced some time ago, and it was mentioned in early December that this would be on the floor in January. Interesting that South Africa, which has an embassy here, would be fully aware of that their political leadership didn't know that over a month ago, 5 weeks ago. So when exactly did they start asking Iranians not to come? Why would the Iranians have come all the way here if there was any doubt whatsoever that the South African government wanted them to be here? I call BS, poppycock balderdash. The South Africans made no effort, in my view, my analysis, to ask the Iranians not to come. They intentionally delayed this. Remember that this was scheduled during the same time frame as the G20 summit. And when the U.S. didn't come, and then they barred South African participants from coming to the States during this year the U.S. has the G20, obviously the South African government got a message. Now, Ronald Lamola didn't get the message. He's still running his cake-hole, spewing all kinds of nonsense about events, about America, attacking America, when America is saying nothing about this exercise, publicly or privately. So what's really happening here? Well, the South African government realizes they've dug themselves a deep hole and they're trying to get out of it. But it doesn't get any better. It's not just Iran, a state sponsor of terror, who's participating in it. It's a rogue regime in Moscow who continually invades their neighbors and causes carnage and has led to 1 million deaths in Ukraine and Russia. It's also the Chinese communists who harvest organs from Muslims, the Uyghurs, and whose human rights abuses are legion. These are the friends, along with Cuba and others, of the ANC. They're not getting the message, but at least an effort was made here to save face. But how embarrassing for the Iranians to come all the way down to South Africa only to be asked, hey guys, could you leave? Imagine the conversation going on. Well, it's not really about you. It's not about the Americans. We think you probably want to go home because you got discord. It's time to go home. And then they're telling the press something completely different, and they're telling South Africans something completely different. What do you believe? Well, I believe the South African government was embarrassed, and someone woke up and became an adult, but a bit too late, and it wasn't Ronald Lamola.